All right, YouTube, how we doing? How are we doing? I see everybody made it in. You know, a lot of people still out there having fun in the sun. You know, after a long night of, you know, partying and everything. For some of us and everything. You know, I went out myself last night. I'm not gonna lie. It was kind of cool. Kind of drunk coming in, but I still got up to see uh, a few people stumbling in, you know, a little bit later than normal, even though it's the weekend. I know it's the weekend and we all deserve to go ahead and, hey, enjoy that weekend. Especially from all the work, you know, that makes us week during the week, right? uh, I think I hit it about 4:44 today on the clock, and everything is not that was by accident too. I just looked down. It was 4:42 when I was actually going to start, so I figured, you know, I'll wait. So I don't know if I actually hit it punctually, but yeah, we went for it anyway. We're here, 121 on this clock. I guess now for another revelation download that may not be so down and low. Then again, a lot of people, hey, might look upon me or whatever, or look upon each of us at different times, and you know, hey, and think that we just some low down motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? But hey, that's their own opinion, right? They can write their own opinion, and what I mean by that is they can write their own the pen and opinion. They can write their own story about that. Because only you know you, and me know me, and we know we. You know what I mean? Yeah. But today how you doing? I left off right now with Doc, Tarot Doc, and the kitty, and she was in Capricorn. She was talking about the Cappies and everything, you know, which is really talking about myself, you know, my South Node. And so I was soaking it up a little bit. Got to go back and finish watching it. And she was actually, you know, hey, wanting to stay curled up too, you know. She's wanting to stay curled up too, you know. And hey, I probably would have did it if that was the case. You know, I probably would have done it. And just really chilled out on a Sunday and soak it in, or, you know, just let it flow. Wow. I see this arc. It's here. It's not in my camera. It's not in my lens. You know, it's clean, so it just is what that's the reflection of the light. Wow. But then I did go around and check on too. I hadn't checked on Justin in a little while. Son of God, capital G-O-D at the end, and, you know, Shamika's son. And he was looking good. He was looking vibrant out there, and pretty much doing the same thing. You know, it's talking about, you know, his father and everything. He was, I think, not web designer or not web designer, but something to do with, it might have been a designer, a web designer, but something to do with technology anyway. And you could tell that they really did a good job with him, with the articulation of his words, how he describes everything, you know. And I love, not past tense, I love the fact that somebody stole his tarot cards. In the essence of this, well, if they wanted them, maybe they picked them up and probably going to use them. But we know, hey, it could be a yin and yang in every aspect on that, right? For one. But regardless, it was a catapult for him to go ahead and understand it's just that's just the medium. That's just a medium in which a lot of people use and everything because they don't necessarily use the intuition. They go off of the way everything's webbed up to right now. Uh, you know, we're talking about right here. And so it does happen to be a collection, and then you reflect the stories in a general sense of whatever the agenda is for all the clicks and everything, whether it be, hey, the 13 levels and everything, you know what I'm saying? The 13 levels and everything. And making sure we're reflecting and doing what we're doing because, the big eye is always looking down on us and everything, you know what I mean? So it was kind of cool for him to even sit up and share that and everything and see him in his element, actually explaining everything, explaining every single thing how it really is, and whether that be, again, however one takes it. We could take that to the in a yang way. Or how you doing? All right. You doing good? Right.
Light?
Oh yes, it's good.
Light?
Live?
Yeah. No, this one. Live on car.
Oh yeah, no live, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
live?
this is Facebook right here now. Not Facebook,
Oh,
YouTube.
Oh, YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is how it's like a beautiful family. Okay, so show your family. Yeah.
This is my family.
Family. This is the family. This is the wife right here.
Yeah.
Say hi. Hola, hola. All right, cool. Bye. All right, take care.
What's
Yeah.
your name and YouTube?
Devere, it's Kesher, K.E.
TikTok? No.
YouTube. Oh, hold 1 second. Yeah. Okay. Now it's a little. I'm telling you un poquito de español, okay?
Yes.
Porque por the información es algo que se corta, pero it's called hidden.
Oh,
Todos, okay?
Yeah.
Pero ese es malo y ese es bueno. A mí es explicar los buenos.
Oh, yeah.
¿Entiendo? Okay, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
bro. Happy today.
Okay, you too, brother.
Bless you, bro.
Okay. Bless you too. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's beautiful right there. Brother, we just... Hey, we even got the horn going off right there, and it's cool, And the whole family, you just saw it myself, we're just walking down the street, minding my own business, and the horn is still going off the hook and everything, This is like what life is all about. And that's what we were still talking about. We went right back to it. We were talking about the family. I was talking about that with the justice, justice, and wow, cool. So I was able to explain with him a little bit, because I know that he first of all he only speaks Spanish, but his family was beautiful. They was coming from the park right there, and he saw me and he said, hey, but actually the little girl waved and everything first and everything, and then he turned around and I guess our aura, our energy, our vibration, even though we just spoke no words, was on the same length. And so he asked you, you do YouTube, but you mean Facebook? I think you heard everything. So basically I told him everything. I told him, hey, disculpe, porque se corta. And todos is what I'm saying. Oh yeah, I already said it. Yeah. So, which is, those things that are hidden, and the positive and negative and everything. But I'm explaining the positive things. So that's what just happened right there, and that sent me vroom past the moon. Because it just did. Okay? It just did. And that's what we're talking about, whether it be, hey, you're in a crowd of people, or you're by yourself, and whatever your vibration is in, it does go ahead and touch and move people, or you're drawn to theirs. And honestly, I was drawn to the whole family because everybody, you know, everybody had a glow. The kids and everything, everybody had a glow. They was happy and cool and everything. And so that's why I was looking. And anyways, pushing on. Yeah, so I was, checking out Doc, and Doc is so cool because she just tells it like it is and everything, pretty fast and everything, different ways and everything too. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I get lost and everything. But for the most part, I still feel the vibration, and so we keep coming back. We keep coming back, and even though some might be some sliders, you know what I'm saying? And or things that I'm not gonna say in a bad sense, you know what I'm saying, but just sliding right past me and everything, you know what I'm saying? And around me too, for it might not be for me. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, we take it how it flows, how it comes, how it goes, And so then, as you've probably been seeing, I gotta go ahead and Mr. Lynn. Oh my goodness! See, this right here today, 7/13, is a full 3. I mean, I already explained that 3 or 4 times. What this day does for me. This day I got married on, got my, and that was in 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. That's 8 years plus on that in order to get to, this 9th year right here. Ninth year transformation. Things was changing and everything. The 10th year is the total completeness, but we're in it right now. We're knocking on that door, for myself anyway, and as an overall collective, as the Kali Yuga ended, and we are where we are, and so all those things are something that I was going back through, and as I was explaining through these last few days and everything, and it is, even when going back, Lynn. Now, this is 1 year ago when I was actually inside, a lot of, going through the first phases of, waking up and what have you not, or waking up inside of this world, and, checking things out, you know what I mean? And he had said something in one of the, I can't remember which one, but he had said something to the effect of, and he saw, I think it was the very last one he did. He said, the way he rephrased it and everything was like, the way he recanted it was like, I was running up and everything, and then the person, I was running. I'm going to go ahead and put it in a personal right here. Running up, and the person who I was running after would go ahead and say, "Is he still behind me? Still behind me?" Boop. and then I would go ahead and slide on off and everything, right? And then I would still come back again. He says, "Is he still behind me? Still behind me?" Boop. And bop me again, and then got that motherfucker again. All right, this is fun. Yeah, is he still behind me? Still behind me? Boop. Got that motherfucker again. And then finally, I guess I came around to myself and, and said, "Well, shit, I'm tired of getting booped." Okay. All right. Now that's one aspect, and I take that in because that's the reality on a lot of shit, on a lot of stuff and everything. Now that I had actually had it in a different loop, in the sense of this. What I was doing is going ahead, like I said, I give everybody 100%, on certain levels, 97 on some, and then really on a lot, I'll go ahead and only give them 3%, okay? You know what I'm saying? Those are ones that's really shown, I've known, and I can smell, all that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Right off the bat. Like right off the bat, his whole family would get 200% off the bat. You know what I'm saying? Easy. Just because of the fucking vibration. So with what was happening with me, and I kept the same pattern with a lot of people, is that uh, I would go ahead. What it was is I didn't, because you can't see the vibration right away. At least I couldn't see the vibration right away. And then anything you're going into, you can't see it right away, especially through this right here. Now, if you're around them, then you can see it right away. Okay? So what happens is, and the fact, on top of that, the fact that you always, well, not everyone, but this is how I'm wired, you always want to see the best in that person. You always look to see the best in that person, you know? And so basically what I went ahead and did, for me, is a little bit different and everything. I was lapping motherfuckers. I was lapping. I said, okay, you cool? If you cool, we cool. I'm gonna go ahead and up around, and I'm gonna go ahead and do what I do and shit, and I'm gonna come back and see, if we still cool. All right? Oh, you said, oh, what it was? Yeah, you said you're gonna help out on that? Okay, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and continue to rap, because I have to get it acclimated to this whole system right here. So as you're doing whatever you're doing, and if you're gonna go ahead, we're gonna rock and every roll or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Or as Jay Hadina say, rock, you know how I rock. Or what's her name? What's her name? Bean, Lulu Bean. You know what I'm saying? I love how you rock. You know what I mean? Started out with her and everything too. Anyways, so whether it be however anybody rocked or rolled or whatever and everything, at least I got the vibe, and I can see whether or not I want to rock, or if I need to roll or bounce or whatever the fuck. Okay. And so therefore I still had to go ahead and get acclimated to it. And so therefore I left that person to go ahead and do what they do, come back and then see if they spoke something, jawbone credit, which, hey, it is non-existent so far in this world in a general sense, except to a few souls that I've come across. Jawbone credit, meaning they speak what they say and they just do what the fuck they say. You know what I mean? So it has been, that has been some of the transitional awakenings that I've had along the way. And with that, I forgot where I was going right now. Oh yeah, no, I was lapping. Gaining, gaining the moss. But people say a rolling stone gathers no moss. No, I was picking up the moss and everything. You know what I'm saying? Good, bad, and ugly, and I transmuted however I transmuted. All right, and so that was how I looked at it. Okay, and even though like this is a full circle right here. Now, I could have a thickness of this tree right here, right? I can see how I can get my hand around a little bit. Where we at? Here we go. Yeah, see how I can get my hand around it? Or I can have a thickness, I can get my hand around it. I can have a thickness like so, right? Or I can't even get my hand around this one, okay? Now, all three of these trees right here that we sit up here talking about, I've grown a little bit thicker than all that shit right there within this year of time. And so therefore, every single loop, whether they thought they was looping me or I was looping them in the way that I was telling you that I was looping, then it has made me that much sturdier, that much stronger within myself and everything. So that, which these probably won't grow up too much taller, or if they do, they're going to cut them down. But that is what's going to give us the elevation. Okay, like this one has more elevation to what stature it is that we have signed our contracts and everything to go ahead and come down here, do, say, be, encounter, uh, even and not encounter, you know, regardless if they want to get the close encounters of the third kind or slash what. And so all of that right there is something that is what happened inside of this year right here. You know, whether it be, like I said, even to the 713 part of the marriage, you know, calculated on that day. Even when I went over to get the sea moss to get the Tin Man, basically the Tin Man, okay, the Tin Man over there, and that's the original Tin Man too. All right. Now we got what I was looking at too with Doreen Dotan. See, Dotan can be Dothan. Okay, it was just the H, just like they take the for Hebron, they took the C out, the C out, and then changed the phonetic from BROWN to BRON. So Hebron, Hebron. It's still the same phonetic, uh, 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 syllabic sound, syllabic sound, in which we're still talking. But yeah, if we look at it in English, it's different. And so that's what throws us off. So the same thing with Dotan and Dothan. The Dotan, the color skin, Doreen Dotan, we got to look at the do. Do is what? Musical note. Do is even a whole octave. Okay? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. That's a whole octave of tan. So the different 7 colors inside that do tan, she going from one extra end of the spectrum to another end of the spectrum, and then on another level at that point in time. All right? And that's a 22-7 on the clock. And when we multiply that 22-7, because we have Genesis, which is comprises of 22 letters and 7 words, equals 1,000, equals 178. Okay, and that is the completion of all of the verses inside of the Psalms, 178. So once we get through that 178, then what do we have? We have 15 degrees. So after Psalms 119, 120 through 134, and 1 equals 34, which equals 1, right? And we got to go ahead and 1 equals 34 and equals 1, of course, and that is definitely the all-giving one, the forgiving one, all right, the forgiving one. This is also the power of the great. All right, these are the levels. So those 15 levels that goes from 120 to 134 are some serious levels and everything. Okay, these are levels is the word of Aries. Okay, that's what Aries mean. That's the reason why I have February, January, February, Aries itself, Aquarius. Okay, all those are levels. That means levels. All right. And so whether it be, you know, ha'ai, meaning, or ha, or ya, ha'ai or ya, okay? Ha'ai is that of the Hebrew, okay? Ya is what they call it in English, all right? And it equals also 34, which is 1, O-N-E, or Eno. Eno, really, tell you the truth, we go ahead and put the S on there like ones, and we go ahead and put the S back on the other end, Enos. That goes back to the weakened man, okay? The man that's an ish, that's weak, all right? Or, you know, whether it be man or woman, that, because that man right there is actually coming from there of the Moorish ish, okay? American Anish, and that of the nationalists, okay? And that's who was created inside of chapter 2 of Genesis. Because remember, woman was pulled from the rib of that of man. Okay, and that rib was basically the deoxyribonucleic acid of DNA. Back to the 666. Okay, even inside there we got the DO. We see the God inside of there, oxy, OX, right? You see the O, and that's O blood. They use the O blood. Okay, and the XY, that is the XY given to the male. Okay, as the female has double X chromosome, and that's the overfold over from that of the 4X, all right, as it is in cryptology. I mean, yeah, what do you call it? The crypt, the money. Tripping right now on the word crypto. It's just simply crypto. Yeah, it's crypto. We're using right now for money. Simple as that. It's not really fucking crypto. It's encrypted, of course, so you can have your own account and all that stuff and everything. But it's not really encrypted. Trust me. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's being utilized right now, but trust me, it's really not encrypted. Okay. Why? Because it's only a currency in the ethers, and if they shut it down, you can't necessarily utilize that crypto. Okay. If and when they shut it down, so that's the reason why it behooves us, like we're starting out with Doc, and people that go ahead, and even like Kuan Yin was saying, to go ahead and make sure you have a skill that does not require you to utilize this thing right here. All right, because we see in Joshua chapter 10, again, that's where the beer is at, Eglon, and the EG is that of the 5-7, which is the fucking counter. Okay? The counter of the League of Nations. And this is the book of Joshua, and you can't remember, you can't believe anybody that's joshing. Anybody that's just joshing, and they made a covenant with us, that's Shua making a covenant. So anybody that's joshing and made a fucking covenant with it, you can't believe every fucking thing. That's the copy paste that most have done with a lot of things, and you got to watch your punctuation on that, and watch the punk, especially on the wation. You know what I'm saying? Because it really does matter. It really does matter. All these nothing does. There's everything is matter. Simple as that. Every single thing is matter. And so yeah. She was talking about her jellies and the different things and everything that she makes, and it's pretty cool. So these are the type of skills that I think that everybody, even what's his name, Lex Will, he made a video, he's having a baby and went out there and touched his mother's plot of land, and she went ahead and left him and everything, and and I was, simply what it is, because when all is said and done, it is going to be the math of Matthew, Mark, X marks the spot, which is the Ivrit last letter. That's the reason why Malcolm X went to Malcolm X. Okay. Marks the spot of what? Of land. Okay, which is Matthew, what? Mark, the land. And Luke is known as the physician or doctor, okay? And so, but Lu is also that of 33, okay? And that's the beginning of Lu cipher too. So Lu cipher is cryptic also. Lucifer, okay? Lu, the CI is 93, FE is Fe, and then okay? The Lewis cipher, Luciferic, okay? This is all cryptic again, okay? And even that cryptic goes as far, that's how we even, the brother-sister language of Arabia and Ivrit even come together and everything, because Allah is that of Hallel, which is Lucifer in English, in Ivrit, okay, which is Hallel, which is meaning the light bringer and so forth, okay? So whether it be halal or Hillel, it came down. Number 622 in Strong's. Okay? No, I believe it's number 206, believe it or not. I believe it's number 206, Hillel. But it might be 622. It's a long, long time. I haven't, they took all this shit. I'm so glad I went over so much because people like to steal. You know what I mean? They like to steal. And so what happens is, so we got halal, and all of those things right there are together. And so halal or halal, okay, which is Allah, all right, it comprises of 5 letters. So that's the 5, that's a star with the C, all right? And then the conjunction of that, as you'll see in one of the slides I put inside of there, Yod He Wah He, okay, it's the same word as Allah, except reversed and pressed down and then put into a cursive form, as opposed to the Phoenician, the Phoenician letters that they use right now for the Hebrew, and then they're not using the Paleo, but even the Paleo, you still gotta look at inside of that right there. That's L, okay, meaning pay, meaning the mouth of Leo. Okay, so it's still back up there again to, taking you back over there to Hakuna Matata, you know what I'm saying, or the ing, that of Australia, okay, and which is basically around money. Back to the Tin Man. You see what I'm saying? Back to the motherfucking Tin Man, And so with this day right here, and the Tin Man, I was getting every mother to the Tin Man. What is that? Daddy he didn't already have. So that's basically what the hell is going on. See, all that shit is all, we're still talking about the currency, the electrical currency that we're talking about, and we're talking about the monetary currency that they didn't give shit to us that we didn't already have. They tell you. So please forgive me, and then we go round, 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 round. Go round, 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 round. Okay? So sometimes, we went round the bases. It'll be, 3 short rounds, 2-minute rounds. I guess Bruce Lee had a fight with 2-minute rounds and everything, Or you got 9 rounds or full 15 heavyweight rounds, whatever one needs in order to go around. In order to go around. Wherever you're at, whatever one needs, that's what we need to go. Around the mulberry bush, mayberry bush, wherever level you at, you know what I'm saying? Wherever level we're at, and because no matter what, whether we're on the bottom, and it's sort of like this wall right here, okay? Now we're building a wall, and some people can start at the base and everything. It's a little bit shorter down here, right? As you come on up, and then it gets a little bit taller going back on that way and everything, right? And so some people might have heights, scared of heights, so they're gonna work down here, and then those that have no scare, we're gonna work over here, okay? And then some people will go ahead and leave. I'm talking about men, women, everybody, animals, everybody working together. The ants and everything too. Even the aardvark, the ant and the aardvark. UCI, okay. What is it called? Irvine, University of California, Irvine. They got the anteater, okay. And so even with the anteater, the aardvark, okay, he's really working with the same thing too, and so the aardvark is basically, the ark is what it's all about. And what is the ark? The crop, the Kenya Revenue Agency. It's all the same fucking thing. It's all the same fucking thing. Okay? So what we don't necessarily, what's happening is that because people were born in, and just this, and don't get me wrong, and that is a separation as far as within what's considered man, and then what's considered human, and then we got clones, and then we got all the other, everything up under that, you know, and that's from that of the animal species, also to that of, even what I'm saying as far as original, and then even in the cloning sense. So all of that shit matters, and what happens is we get some freaking one second, crybabies, or people who gives a silver spoon or a gold spoon or a copper spoon inside their mouth, and just because they were part of remembering how we set this shit up, which is simple. Okay, since their family, you know, is remembering how we set this shit up. 64, 64. Look, that's how we set that shit up. You see it? We set it up just like that, A by A. I didn't even trip on that shit, right? Wow, 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 wow. Yeah. Since we 36 was on the clock just a second ago too. And that's Ali. And so, but not everybody can go through those 36 chambers, and that's what I'm sitting up here talking about. If we ain't did some fucking work to go through them up to them 36 chambers to be either Ali or either the brave Kabir 37, all right? To whether it be intelligently wise or physically, you know, and not just come back and say, thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. We're still running your land and taking your name, but thank you for your service. That type of bullshit? Get the fuck out of here. That's the shit that I'm talking about. It's like, that's the tar bullshit, you know? But, and I do mean but, every single one can change. Whether you go ahead and change on the inside, or you just go ahead and slide me my motherfucking damn change, slide everybody they change and everything, because that time that we said everything goes round, 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 round. Because Oz didn't really give nothing to the Tin Man that he didn't already have. See what I'm saying? So you just go ahead and give that change, dollars, land, all of that shit right back, or even just hey, now just it's what it is right now. It's a jubilee. Whether one wants to believe it or not, it's a jubilee. And just like Justin was saying, you know, and it's reality. And he was sporting brown, and I get all, I get everybody, and even though hey, we might be, I'm splitting the middle of my phone right now. We might be, and this is the middle. This is the yellow. This is the yellow in the middle. Okay, we might get off and get over to the purple side, or either to the white side, which might be black, or but if, just so long as black and white, so one can go ahead and be clear on it in a legal sense, then that would be fine. But if you want to still go ahead and hey, play with the colors of whether it be and the red is going, the red in a general sense is not, you're not in the green, okay, but at the same time the red is in the blood, meaning in the graphic on this particular phone, where it shows hey, that it's going, your stock is going up, as opposed to the blue stock going down, the blue line going down. But at the same time, it is, you got to go down in order to go back up. And so all of that stuff is what Lynn was saying throughout all of the ones I missed, to where, the people, they'll see you. They'll see and know that, hey, that motherfucker right there, that chick right there, she got fucking some juice, you know, some fucking something different, and you know, I want that, or either, you know, if we're at certain plateaus or whatever, that's I don't want to lose this position, okay, and don't have just the common sense couth, and the reason why they don't have couth and everything because in the collective, the Jewish word that we're using right now is called malkuth, which is bad, no couth. So they really just, that's the reason why I say, hey, don't give a fuck radio. Fuck it. They don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck either. You know? But most people can't call them out exactly where they're fucking wrong at. And this is why all the prophets, see, that's the reason why they made the motherfucking word the same. All the ill-gotten profits that they took from the prophets, whether it be the words and or the energy in which they went ahead and used them for Burning Man, or even just like last night, the same thing happened before John D, okay, and the 713 energy that is still coming off of the Bucky Moon, the Buck, as I know it has her Maya, and this is missing in action. Miss Mia, missing in action. Sri Lanka. You know what I'm saying? The Tigers. The marigold is different than the yellow. It's different. The marigold is different. You know? And yeah, her Bucky Dun Gun, with the Bucky Moon, with the Buck Moon. That was on again July 10th. All right? And so that again, that day, like I said, it paralleled me papa, me mama on the 10th, 7:10, and then 7:11. We rested 7:12. And we are now in 7:13. 7:13. And 7:13 is, well, who in the book of Eob, okay? Or Eob, or Job, or Job, and Job is the boy spelled backwards, okay, or spelled forward. And chapter 41. 41 is the numerical value for king. Okay? 41, I believe, is in the flip it, rub it down position. But basically what it states is who can put their fucking, supposedly God is questioning Eob. Who can put the hook inside the fucking Leviathan? Well, who is a Leviathan? Leviathan is Levi. Levi is Levi, which is also Evil. Athen, okay? Leviathan, okay? Leviathan. And so we see Han inside of there also. And Han was, again, Bruce Lee's coming up with his teacher, his senior. He says, it's just one of our students have gone and caused the school of Shaolin shame. And it is Han. So we see who the Leviathan is, okay? And then we're also going back to Doreen Dothan. So, okay, Dotan. And they just take that. So we see all that. And again, Dotan or Dothan is a city in Alabama. So we can see, again, she didn't necessarily have to come from fucking Israel. She didn't have to, the roots. But we're looking at different generations, right? But we can see that the Alabama is where everything's the big mosque is. This is where the big mosque. That one over there is also a prop. That's a prop to go ahead and split up Africa into 54 parts. Why is it 54 again? Again, for the 5 of Allah, and then for the 4 of Yod He Wahe. Okay? So that's 54. And what are they splitting up? They're splitting up the fucking 19, the 14 meridians of the whole body. Which is, and if we are the land, we come from the fucking land, and they split up the land, then what do you think is going to happen to the body? What do you think is going to happen to the mind? And this is the microcosm within the macrocosm of even the whole Berlin Conference in 1884 at that time when they thought about it. And so that's what I'm sitting up here talking about. And if you can rock with me, if you can't rock me, that's okay. We can roll. We're rock and roll is all good. You know what I'm saying? Rock and roll is here to stay. It will never die. It don't have to be your way. I could take off and fly. Rock and roll may be here to stay, but not for me, not all the way. Confirmation, fuck them. Confirmation, bro. The police is gonna pull him. And who's doing this? That's the ancestors. The ancestors, it's a paramedic because the motherfucker bleeding, leaking. Somebody leaking some fucking where. And the number on the thing is 3. I kid you not. The number on the motherfucking thing is number 3. That's fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy. All right? So, yeah, during this time right now, you know, this Cancer moon. I mean, Cancer. We're still in Cancer right now. Getting ready to do this Capricorn moon here. You know, new moon coming up. Just got finished with the buck. And so, being that we are in, you know, the cardinal water right now, and again, like everybody's saying, hey, the water and earth is going to separate, and we're going to be doing air and fire. Air and fire. And so, for this particular day, we're still talking about right here, right now. All right, this particular day, this is still Cancer, and the Cancer is that of the crab. Okay, and so, with the crab, see, we have 2 crabs. We have 2 crabs. All right, we have a crab, okay, and it's in water too. That's Scorpio in Ivrit, in Hebrew. Okay, we have 2 crabs. So the English crab is that going to be that of Cancer, you know, with the Tropic of Cancer. Notice how they put T.R.A, you know, in the tri, okay? Why? Because actually the tri is really the 369, and which is Cancer to 69. All right? And a 3, just like the ambulance went by, you can't have anything without the fucking 3, because it's the magic number. Back in 1973, that's when even Bruce Lee motherfucking took off along with me papa, you know, along with who was born, I think the girl right now, I just saw her right now, she was born in 1973. She was married to Prince. Prince had married her and was her legal guardian and married her, which was actually an Islamic type of a Muhammad and many others type of thing, who went ahead and married, I think it was even Khadija, married Khadija when she was small, but, you know, supposedly within the law, they may not have went into it, but at the same time, hey, if they gave laws to go ahead and you go to war and take the women and take the, you know, the woman and the girl and just shave their head and then give them time to mourn and then go into them, then that has been the motherfucking damn protocol. So I don't see why that would be any different, whether it be Muhammad or whoever, you know. And incidentally, all of that's going to, I'll break it to you right now. It's going to break down in the simplest thing, because right now we're in the highest vibration of the freaking year of 1185, and that is going to be in Cancer. That is going to be in Sarton. Sarton is the Ivrit. Okay, Sarton. 1185 is the vibration of this. All right, and so when you go ahead and you break 1185 down, all right, you're actually going to come to 213. The 11 years, you're not supposed to break them down because those are the towers. That's the vision. That's the master visionary. But if you go ahead and do break it down to the two, you know, as computers is goes in language 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2, right? All those things, then we'll go ahead and break it down like A B. Okay, 1 2. All right, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. So that's going to end up 13, and the 85 we're going to reduce it all the way down to 13 also. So that's 213. And in 213 Ezra, it tells us that of Adonikam, who gives you the DNA code again. You know, they're coming back from Babylon, and the DNA code and everything of the people he brought back said was 666. Now, over in Nehemiah, it gives you the same thing again, but it tells you 667 for, and we still end up coming up with the same 13. All right, we still come up with the same 13 with 267, because you have the 2, and then you have that of the 13 for the 6 and 7, which would be the 13. All right, so you bring it down. So either way, both of them equals down to Adonikam, right? Mm-hmm. And what does Adonikam mean? Why is that so important? Adonikam means my Lord has risen. All right, that's what Adonikam means. In the Ivrit, how you doing, Bill? It also translates to that of Romanti Ezra. So we have Roma here, okay? And then Ezra means help. So that's the help for the Roma, meaning my Rome, all right, of Ezra. And that is going to land us in chapter 16 of Mark. And Mark was a shortened chapter. They tell you it wasn't, but it was cut off. The books were cut. There was more books inside of Mark than 16. All right? And so they give you an explanation of what was added or what was subtracted when you go to look at AI, but we have more books, simple as that. And 16 actually means war. So my Lord has risen for what? War. We have 16 fucking chess pieces, okay, on each side. Okay? They roll the stone away. What stone is that? The Philosopher's Stone. If you roll that motherfucking Philosopher's Stone away, so Philosopher's Stone away is sort of like the psychiatrist and everything too, you know, because you got to be psychotic. Psychotic to, first of all, put motherfuckers in a trance. Yeah. Let me see. Where we at here? Okay. Yeah. All right, we're in. Yeah. Yeah. And so, so that right there is a 213. Now that right there, it reduces down to 34. The 2 and 2 to the 1 plus the 1 is the 3, and then the 1 and 3 is the 4. So therefore, we're all for one and one for all, right? if you know what I mean. 54 on the clock right now. And I was not even fucking. Oh my goodness! All for one and one for all, right? Okay. But if you're forgiving, though, you can't just be three giving. You have to be four giving, five giving, six giving, seven giving, eight giving, and nine giving too. Because if you don't necessarily make it a nine, it's not going to turn right back around, you know, to respect that of the 666, which is your own DNA, your own kinda, your own children, your own thought forms. It's not going to respect it. So we reduce that down at 34, it reduces down to a 7, which is today 713. All right. Now to go ahead and take it a little bit even further on in so we can go ahead and everybody don't get panties in a bunch and everything, especially for the two main religions and so forth, the religions, things that hold you together, because Muhammad equals 74 and Jesus equals 74. All right. And so does Scorpio. Scorpio equals 74 too. All right. Which is actually the second crab. That's Akrab. And Akrab in Ivrit. And in Ivrit, okay, it actually equals 372. So there's your C again. There's your C. And then there's that brown 72. Which you put the zero on it, it's really a 720 if we do a 360 on it. If we're going both ways back and forth, it's really a fucking 720 on it. So that's the reason why if we go round, 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 and I didn't really give nothing to the Tin Man that he didn't already have. So, but what they want to do, they want to go ahead and be a crab about it. This time it's a policeman. It's not a fucking damn mansion. And so the police is gonna go get these crabs. I mean, we talking about the cosmic police, of course. And so the crab, and no matter where you put it, whether you put the crab, a crab, that of Scorpio, or the crab, that of Cancer, it's still the Kenya Revenue Authority. Okay, that's what it still is, no matter what. Even if you go ahead and put it with the C, which actually gives you the C with the star, and then that's still you still say like C with Kenya on that Kenya Revenue Authority. And then a number two. Why number two? Because that's the house. That's the AB blood. That's the AB blood. So you got the AB blood and you got the O blood. You know what I'm saying? And they have a lot of freaking malaria over there. Even if it's an OG that he wanted to go ahead and really talk to me about what really history there. They gave him some damn malaria and he was in the hospital. All right. The girl who took me around, her name is Alma. Again, Alma is they get the Alma and everything from the acronym simply of alms, okay, and that is Alif, not Aleph, but Alif. Like life, Life. That's like Ifa, okay, Ifa, basically. All right, the same thing, Ifa. They got the same thing with Ogun, Oshun, Olodumare, and uh, Olokun, even Kun. They got Kunas over there, just like Kunas over in the fucking I Ching. All right, Ace Boon Kun. Okay, all of that shit. And so what happens is Sartan, which is the crab, all right, has a numerical value of 469, which gives depth again, that 4 going to Yod He Wahe, and then the 69 to crab, which is a tropical Cancer of fucking of
Tanzania, and the whole northeastern Africa, to include Bahamas and Mexico. All right. So the crab actually has a numerical value of 33 with a K. All right. No, actually with 33 with a K, and so with that 33, it brings us right back around here to this month. This month, what? Of where? July and August of side of the I Ching, and we went over that the other day. Okay, last one, and we went over 33. Okay, which is retreat. Okay, retreat, and so all those things that retreat again, it goes on back over to my brother, who was pretty pissed. He was pretty pissed and everything a year ago. All right. That of Lynn and all of the motherfucking, and even that of the young brother and everything, Justice right now, and whether they stay in the yellow or not, that's not for me to decide. But what I do see is that when they go ahead and speak what is correct, I'm not going to go with that word truth, but we're going to go with correct and everything, because truth leads more to Ruth, correct. It is C, because we got a C, and the O is with the IN, okay, and that's with the O. It's not. It's a circle, and then back to the nines, or the sixes of the 3 nines or 3 sixes to equal the 18 in the R. So all of that right there, besides the ET, but the ET is that of 52, which is that of the Earth, and everything. In reverse of 25, okay, because 30 is given to that of the stars, and 25 given to the Earth for 55, when that takes us to the abundance which is inside of you and which is inside of me, and which everyone is fucking doing a rob. This is why a lot of people's name is Robert. Even the family name Lepre is that of Robert. Okay, because they're fucking robbers. Batman, even Batman. Robin's name was fucking Robert. Okay, they're fucking robbers, And but at least the thing of it is, and the ER tells you right there. Okay, the ER tells you that they're fucking what happened to 38.7. All right, which reduces again down to what? 11.7, which flips it around as what? 7.11, which again is what? The year of which the Islamic Revolution happened. All of that shit. It's here we go around, round, round, round. La, 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 la. Still, if we're strong enough, as we're talking about, as we're retreating to what we have to retreat to in order to go ahead and preserve, and it doesn't mean like, they're taking the energy and doing what the fuck they want to do with it. They can only do so much with your energy, even though it might be a little ching ching right now. But see, as many, this is literally what it shows is that you are really a motherfucking damn giant, and they're really pinning you down to certain degrees while you let them, and a lot of us are letting them, because we can snap that shit. We can snap it like a motherfucker. We got too much strength. I don't give a fuck if they do think motherfucking numbers come. Okay? Now in the ethereal world, no. Even in the physical world, you have seen many, many fucking things where a woman picks up a whole fucking car with one fucking hand, toss that shit to get her motherfucking daughter out. Okay? Or children. So all of that shit can be summoned up, but not, see, those who are weak of Enos, one, O-N-E, with the S, thinking we're one, all is one. No. I don't give a fuck. All these motherfuckers gathered up, they're not going to be able to fucking hold you because we gave you the motherfucking letters to even fucking play with. So don't fucking play. All right? Don't play. Even though this is supposed to be a good theater. Okay? A good play. Don't play. Because those in which who you play with, we still are our ancestors, and in every religious sect, what have you not, besides other Christian, and besides inside of the King James, because they only mention ancestors one time. But everybody knows, even before you go to the Elohim, as we put it, okay, or gods, all right, as we put it, got the generator, operator, and destroyers, then go to your ancestors who are in the ethereal right here. Oh, really, right here. Everything that we're connected to, everything, we're right here. And everybody will come alive, and you'll be walking, and a tree will wrap your ass up. Okay? So, yeah, so this is the reason why they got rid of the prophets, because they really wanted to profit off of the energy and what was instilled to us, not to act like, or like Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. So Matthew, Mark. So after Luke, the physician who put everything together, then what did he put together? John, which is the gene to do what? To make acts. Acts. The 19th act is what? 19th Amendment or act is what? That of women's rights, wasn't it? But women was already running shit to begin with, though. Right? I mean, the fallen angels come down here, and one of them teaching makeup and everything, so we don't necessarily wear makeup like that. Not men. But schminken, stinking schminken, in Deutsch, hey, viele Frauen brauchen schminken. Warum? Seine Haut ist nicht so dunkel und sie I gotta work on my German, that's for sure. I could read it better than I just gotta be put back in. But anyways, yeah. Basically, so what brother Lynn was stating. Again, those of who have been brought up into different families that might have this knowledge, and whether they went to college and or / not, what I'm saying, and they, or they do, even if they do go to college, they don't have the aptitude
to be original. They're just inside there to go ahead and do whatever job that they're necessarily needed to do for the hierarchy of the I. You know, the I, sir, I, man. And don't get me wrong, this respect is given. Where respect is, I'm not going to say earned. It's just given in a general sense, but it's taken away also. Whether it be a we give respect to the young child. Okay, and if we are youngsters and everything, and they fuck up, what do? We take that shit away. Okay, same thing with the elder. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we can only respect so much and everything, and then at the same time, what do? We got to take that shit back. All right, and that's talking about taking back what your power. That's taking it back. Uh, it's not just your power, just your energy, just your energy. You know, it is not many people be able to handle it. Whether it's supposedly it's some super duper type of energy, or even just something to sustain. It is not their. It's not their voltage. It's not their voltage and everything. You know, so basically they basically you know like going through Beverly Hills and everything or whatever not, or you know even in the hood, you know people have all the bling bling on. You know what I'm saying? And really be fucking. They might have an outside. Me myself, I like no fucking labels and shit. I don't fuck a label. You know, especially if it's not my logo that I put something into it. Fuck a label. Fuck a logo. I don't know what all that shit. I do know what a lot of that shit means, and so therefore, if it's not something that I put my energy into, to go ahead and make, why worry about getting a Chubb's purse, or whatever, tote bag, or whatever the fuck, uh, any and Allah that shit that we're talking about. Annie and all of that shit we talking about. Tiffany's, basically. So basically, these people right here, what I'm saying right here, they don't even necessarily have the smart or the mental or the woe mental, okay, to be even on any type of levels and everything. And so they basically sporting all this shit, and they really scrubs. They really are fucking scrubs. And whether or not we go ahead and get a scrub from motherfucking Tiffany's and give it to them, because they're a scrub, or we get a scrub from the 99-cent store, because they had 99-cent store scrub. A scrub is a scrub. Just like you have to go in and scrub this hardware, and scrub up all of that dirt shit, you know what I'm saying? With inside of our own entities and bodies and spiritual realm, we gotta scrub sometimes because it is deep, it is thick, it is thick. And even like, oh girl, she was and I love her too. I, I love how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Welcome to Tierra's Terror. She be making me laugh like a motherfucker. And then get some water. She made sure I hope my lips are a little bit better today. All right. Yeah, because a scrub is a scrub no matter what. A scrub is a scrub no fucking matter what. I don't give a fuck. 1:14, 4 on the clock. Wow. Wow. And a lot of these scrubs, even inside of fucking hospitals, what do you got to do? When you go to the hospital, what do they tell the team to go do? Go scrub down, right? Go scrub down, you know what I'm saying? Even in motherfucking, we going to, like I said, ICU, scrub down. Same thing with the motherfucking anteaters at UCI, Irvine. That's an right there. UC is 3-3, and there's your eye again. Everybody's, oh, my eye of
And the vine. What vine is that? These vines right here. The grapevines, okay, the vines and everything, you know what I'm saying? That vine, they wanted to be eating it. They had a lot of vine last night. They turned at least six people into wine last night. At least six. Okay? It might have been 10. It might have been 11 because of 713 itself. It might have been 11. All right? It might have been 11 because of John D. Day. You know, so they might have had 11 as opposed to 6 barrels of wine. It might have had 11 barrels of wine. All right? So all of those things is why, how I saw, you know, people stumbling in a little bit, you know, but for the most part, it's been a good day. It's been a good day. It has been a good day. And you invite your energy in and up, you know, so you can help the vibration of the reflective, those who are reflective at this time, to go ahead and be more frequent at that time, even though it's even at a standstill. Even though we might be at a standstill right now, it's like a bee. Okay, it's like a bee just stand still, you know, until we're ready to go ahead and do what we got to go ahead and do. And we have made our plans to where we're not fucking just coming off the cuff like this whole bamboozle damn thing right here, especially with me. You know, motherfuckers got to go ahead and think just a little bit more. I mean, fucking A, bro. A little bit fucking more. I mean, you didn't give me that much motherfucking credit? No. Yeah. Anyways, that's what I would suggest. That's what I would suggest. Do not do like the Dagim. Do not do like the Dagim. You know, a Minoan pond inside that fish bowl. Dagim meaning fish. Do not keep motherfucker you inside a fish bowl. And if they do keep you inside a fucking fish bowl, make sure you know how to go ahead and clean your own feces. No, I should don't. Make sure you go ahead and the feces. You know, Pisces is basically the same thing. Feces. Okay? Feces. Make sure you clean that shit out the fishbowl. Because men now is pretty much the same thing as men before. You know? And what I mean by that, men of Egypt before went out and he didn't really give a fuck the house and everything. He fucked everybody's wife. Everybody's wife while they out to war. Fuck everybody, and they come back pregnant. And so all of those guppies, they came back too. That's what happens right now. You know, that's what happens. So to make sure that you go ahead and clean your feces, clean your own fishbowl, clean your ass. You know, again, we're all full of shit, and we might fall back on and sit in it sometime, but we can all get up and clean and wipe our ass. All right, we can wipe our ass. You know, one thing is a good invention and everything, especially for those who have large asses and everything, because of the ways the toilets are. You should go ahead and invent a large toilet seat. You know, so that your ass sits on there comfortably. All right, how you doing? Yeah, so that your ass sits over there comfortably, and when you sit down on it, say if you weigh a lot, you know, and double on the what do you call it? What do you call it? The nuts. You know, double up on the nuts so it doesn't move as much and everything. You know, because that was just something I learned with the last wife and everything. You know, because with the seats, you know, if especially have a large ass, you got to pull one ass cheek out on this side and then pull the other ass cheek out on the other side, you know. And so I know that's an I mean, don't get me wrong, I love a big butt and a smile too, don't get me wrong. But I was just looking at the, you know, the logistics of it to make it easier for you, okay? And this is no, I'm not banging on fucking body shaming, so nobody can get their panties in a bunch on that, or underwear in a bunch on that on the men's side, you know, if you wear them at all. These are just suggestions, you know. And the main thing of it is to go ahead and wipe our ass, because a lot of us are really still full of shit, and that's okay for right now. That's okay for right now. But as we go ahead and turn this corner, like Miss Molly was saying, Miss Molly, you know, Miss Molly was saying, hey, you have to go back. Now, just because we lived before doesn't mean we have to go ahead and live backwards like the, you know, like the devil. It doesn't mean that shit. You know what I'm saying? And like eating and killing and eating, you know. And that's what I'm talking about, because that shit from that right there, ooh wee, it's gonna be something. It's gonna be something. It's gonna be something. You know. All right. Anyways, let's leave it on a positive, on a posy. I mean, pause. I'm not saying I'm gonna say posy. Say hello to everybody. All right. What is this? Mayamo? Waymo. Say hello, Waymo. All right. We need way more of these motherfuckers sitting around. You know, we need way more of them. I guess, huh? Waymo. Omya. That's Omya. Okay. Well, let me go ahead and get up out of here and let you get back to your day. And I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing, man, okay? So don't worry. Be happy. All right? At least as happy as you can be. And it's going to get better. It's going to get better. For those who's having some, oh, that's what I was looking at. You know, looking to. I didn't see. I hadn't seen what's her name, Phoenix in a little while. Haven't seen Phoenix in a little while. And then the last time, I mean, maybe it was just personally for me, but the last time I had jumped on Nat's channel, she was, you know, she was going off on somebody. And I mean, a couple of times actually. So I don't know what's going on. I did, like I said, and even Ia. I saw a license plate to remind me of Ia right now. Haven't checked her out. We saw also that I did see her numbers pretty much stayed the same. You know, pretty you know, for whatever work she's putting into, they're getting back. You know, the same thing. But we got to get Nat over that 90, 93 is it 95 now? She was at 93 for a minute. Bust her up over that 100. You know, so let's go ahead and those. I mean, as many people, even I gotta go ahead and get a shout out to her. Oh, Alchemy James, Miss Alchemy James. She said she needs some time. She needs some time. All right. So I started at 4:44, 5:44, 20 minutes. So it's about 6:14 right now, maybe. So the general telephone time is 6:15 and 30 seconds. Boop.
there's a little bit more time for you. She's a funny one. You know, taste of the test. What did it taste like? She never tell you what it tastes like. She says taste of the test, but never tell you what it tastes like. What's she tasting on? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is it's been pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. Been laughing like a mofo, even at myself, which is I laugh the hardest at, you know, because it's a lot of people be like, I know it hurts. You say, damn, you know, we see people keep running into a wall or whatever, and say, damn, that shit gotta hurt right there. Fuck, okay. But when you can laugh at yourself, that is the best thing in the whole wide world. That's the best thing in the whole wide world. You know? So, oh, and I was just saying, with Miss J. Hadina, I've been popping on and popping off because it is not anything good, bad, or ugly, but the mental has not been, you know, and I don't want to say, you know, hey, everybody are themselves, and that's the way it's supposed to be. I mean, hey, if you weren't yourselves, hey, I wouldn't have gotten what I've gotten for me during this time right now. You know, it's full cycle on a 360 anyway, and this last 360, and so therefore, I'm not saying to change anything at all, but what I was looking at, you know, sometimes, even with same thing with Miss Alchemy James, and I popped in with Miss Empress Eva too. Empress Eva. You know, again, I don't know if I'm going into a sex shop or you know, to get a card read with the tarot, you know what I'm saying? The red light district and shit. You know? So that's the reason why I you know, I don't want to be clickbait. If my mind is on something else, I don't want it to click to something else. As if you do whatever is coming out of your spirit to speak, that I detour or I mean, the last two has been something else, you know, especially with the black and white and the white pens. First was the blue, then the white pens, and then they opened all the fucking way up. So, you know, what's up, ho? No, it's all good. It's all good. I'm just joshing. Just joshing, all right? Hell, Joshua did it, did he? So why can't I? Anyways, stay as you are and even get better. All right? All right. Back to the kids again. Okay, let me get out of here, guys. You guys take care. Talk to you soon. Ciao, ciao.